Hi everyone. I'm just going to do a quick review of my PMHNP program that I did with Walden University. So, um, when I started looking for a PMHNP program, I wanted one that was flexible, and that was my main thing because I had to work. There was no if and buts around working, and I had to do a full time. So I needed a program that would allow me to balance my family life with my work life, school, and everything. So when I checked with Walden, I saw that they were a better fit for me, not doing anything else. I read good and bad reviews, but my friend was also in the program. She wanted me to start the program with her, and I deferred until I think I was ready. So when I actually chose the program, I felt like I was ready for it. So I went. When I look at the coursework and the amount of stuff that I had to do, I can say that the coursework, it was a little bit rigorous but manageable. I really do appreciate how the content was structured. Each week was built on the last week. So whatever you did last week, it would build on this week. And there were tons of opportunities to apply theory to real life situation. One of the biggest highlight for me was learning to distinguish between pathophysiological and just and the pathological disorders. This really helped me. When I say it helped me in a way that it helps strengthen my diagnostic skills, how I look at condition, how I look at people when you assess certain situation. It helps you more to make this decision to come up with a diagnosis. I also appreciated the integration of evidence based practice. When you look at the evidence of how the brain works, of chemical imbalance, and how these chemicals, when they become imbalanced, how it can affect your brain, um, using these evidence based psychotherapy approaches and the emphasis on using screening tools in our assessment was also a good thing for me. When I look at the clinical rotation, I did not have bad experiences finding me any tutors, any preceptors. I found everyone within the same circle. I never had to travel very far. I mean, I could complete my time and then just switch over. I could literally just switch over into my uniform and go straight to work after. It wasn't that big of a deal for me. So, um, but in the clinical setting, that's where things got real. Um, I just feel like it was a blessing for me because I know I have friends that had crazy issue with finding them a preceptor. But honestly, it was the best. I had very good preceptors. My preceptor, they created such a supportive learning environment. I remember having one preceptor when I was doing um, uh, it was I was doing it was something across the lifespan. I think it was therapy. And I remember the owner of the facility, she's a psychologist, clinical psychologist. And when I tell you, whatever patients that we were presenting, she would literally go through the entire assignment and make sure that whatever we're presenting, it's actual facts. If we came up with a diagnosis that you felt like was not the right diagnosis for this patient, based on our assessment, she would say, no, go and fix this before she actually sign off on it. But it helped us in the end, and she was very good. Every room I enter, I still mention her name. And I remember when we were leaving, she said if there's ever a position available at her facility, she definitely would hire me whenever I'm ready. And she was very good. She was very instrumental in my career as a PMHNP, so I love that. coming down to exam prepped, studying for the ANCC board, it was definitely intense. I did not took any time off really from school, from work. Probably about a few days. I did use that review book that they have, but if I tell you I read off the entire book, no, I read the book, but I didn't feel like, and this is for me, the PMHNP review book, the purple book that everyone talks about, I did not feel like it did much for me. And that's just for me. Sometimes some books just have some pointers. It doesn't make much sense for me, and that's fine. But there are certain things that I learned from it, but I couldn't say that book alone did anything for me. I know that I use a lot of YouTube, Dirty Medicine. I use whatever resource I could find on YouTube. I listen to other students, the things. Of course, I bought the Georgette questionnaire. I bought Georgette her question bank. I did that question bank. It was good. It was very good. I learned a lot from it. I got a hold of some of her, you know, like just listening her materials that she presented when they would go to the live review. I listened to those over and over, and those were also helpful. I didn't do a review for myself, like pay for a review. No, I did not. There was this other doctor, I think it's Dr. Thames. He had a review, he had a WhatsApp group, and he is so good. Even if you are not, he had the WhatsApp group, it was more a support group, and then he would have these questionnaires with Kahoot, and we would be a part of it. But if you would get more access to him if you were paying for the review course. But I just stayed a part of it, and students would just empower each other to, we can do it and stuff like that. So those things. And then I had two friends that I was doing the exam with, and we would just go through question consistently. For about 2 weeks we all did. I remember it's like I did mine the 12th, my other friend did it the 13th, and then I had another friend did it like 1 week after. And so we were the support system for each other. We studied the material to go into the exam. Doing the exam, the exam. When I went into the exam, the first question, I felt like I didn't know, so I passed it. I went through the other stuff, other question, and I did answer the questions. How I felt when I went back to the first question that I passed, I really realized that I knew the question, I just panicked a little bit. But overall, I felt like when I got out of the exam, did I feel like I aced it? No, my friend was waiting on me at the door, and I opened my phone, I gave it to her to check if I passed. And I'm like, I don't know if we did enough. I felt so stressed out. But I just gave it to her, but I didn't say all that. She could see a little fear on me. And then when I was done, when she said you passed, I couldn't tell them exactly how I was feeling, because I had to remember that they had their exams to do, and I didn't want to bring any fear. So I like, whatever we study, everything that we studied was on the exam, but truth and in fact, it's application. We just had to apply. Not that whatever we studied wasn't helpful, because of course I did pass, but to say the questions that we went over, that they were all there, no, they weren't. And so, but I still had to keep empowering them, had to pushing them. I didn't just stop studying that day when I passed my exam. I had to study with the other girls. I had to keep studying with them so that everybody could pass. Basically, one was in California. I went with her to the exam, not in body, but I was on the phone with her to the exam. When she got out of exam, I was on the phone. We went through results together, celebrated together. My other friend, the morning of the exam, because we live in the same state close by, I went to the exam the morning off, and of course I stayed in my car. I got off work the morning, but I still went, and I waited in my car. I waited in my car until she completed the exam. I took her phone, just like she took my phone, and I said, "You pass. We did it." The thing is, for this person, she's a whole midwife from Jamaica, where we're coming from, and so when she decided to do this course with me, I asked her, I said, "Do you want to go back to school with me?" And she said yes. She did not hesitate, and we did not leave each other behind, none at all. If she said she was sick, I am there to help fill in the gap with those with whatever assignment we had. If I wasn't feeling up to it, we sent in all assignments on time. We both only got 1B out of the entire program, and it's by point zero something, but we did very well. Walden, I it's not a bad program. It's a very good program. It's manageable. You can do it. If you put your mind to it, you can do it. Would I encourage anybody to go to PMHNP school? Yes. Whatever you have planned for your life, go and do it. Don't let anybody discourage you. It's just like someone that start working at a company as a janitor, and they step up and start doing something else. You will not have the strength and the mental capacity to be a janitor all the day of your life. After a while, your body, after doing certain job, even working on trucks and stuff like that, after a while your body will be torn, and you don't want to do that everywhere. And it's the same thing with nursing. You're not going to want to do bedside nursing all the day of your life. After a while, you're going to get tired, you're going to get stressed out. Your body will no longer be able to manage all that stress of being at the bedside. So, and not that I have left the bedside completely. I still pick up some days, and it's not because I need extra money. I work 1 day on, 1 week on, 1 week off. I can easily decide to pick up a remote job if I want on my 1 week off. It's just more so I want to keep up with my clinical skills, and I want to also support my colleagues, because of course, inpatient, there's a shortage. And so I still wanted to be a part of the bedside, in the ICU, just to stay in the know, but I don't have to. I can just work my normal 1 week and do whatever I need to do on my other week. But it does provide you with a peace. My job, it allows me the flexibility to work and leave. If I'm done seeing all my patients, I can leave. There's no one over me with a big stick to say, no, you cannot leave. Sometimes I'm done by 11, 12:30. I am done working, So I might come home and decide to do my charting or stuff like that. But it's not bad. I was lucky enough or blessed enough to have a job as soon as I completed school. As I was done school, I got my job even before I sat my exam. They just needed to know when I passed, and I had several offers. And it's because of people that I met. I started, before I was done with school, I was going to like these mental health summits, all those programs that had to do with mental health. And of course, I left a mark in every room I went into, and so people knew my name and was willing to work with me, and so that was good for me. I love outpatient. Unfortunately, I got an inpatient job, but I'm always open to go outpatient one day, because I love the patient population in outpatient. I love following through with my patient and see how they are progressing. So that would be a plus for me. That's what worked for me in mental health. So yeah, that's my journey. Would I change my school if I could? No. If I had to make another choice, no. I don't have anything bad to say about the school. There's going to be hiccups here and there, but nothing major that caused me any major hiccups. And of course, my study partner, very good. If I had to do this again, I would not want to do it with anyone else. I would literally do it with my friend that I did it with, my very good friend. She is amazing. She's a ride or die. We left no stones unturned. Um, she's a very good partner. We're planning on going for our doctorate, and I know she's iffing and butting, but hopefully I can pull her to do it. Her husband said he only guaranteed me 2 years, and the 2 years is done. So I'm gonna have to sign another contract with him so that we can do this, lit this out the park. But if you are considering Walden or any PMHNP program, my advice, you have to be disciplined. Every week you'll submit an assignment. So discipline is number one. You have to make sure that you're advocating for yourself, especially during clinical placement. Speak to Meditrack people. Make sure you're connected, just so that they know what you're doing. Stay connected with your peers, your preceptors, and your mentors. That's also important. That will help you. Don't just aim to graduate, aim to grow. Go to these summits, try to know other people. That would be also be helpful. The program is what you make of it, I say. And with the intention and hard work, it can absolutely help you become the practitioner you were meant to be. After school, you're not going to get everything. You're not going to know everything, but cling on to somebody in your facility that will mentor you and help you to grow as a PMHNP. As I speak, I'm 1 month in my job, and sometimes I'm nervous, but I'm getting more confident and it's manageable. So just do what you have to do, and trust me, you'll get there. Just stay empowered, stay, on your stuff, and you should be fine. Don't shy away from it. You'll get it. You'll get it. Just be positive. And yeah, bye.